Welcome back, everyone. As we continue to take stock of the devastation done by last night's storms in North Texas, we have been talking a lot about deadly tornadoes. But Damien is joining us now. And Damien, there was a whole lot more there, not just tornadoes. In fact, over 100 reports to the National Weather Service. So let's talk a little bit about the strongest tornado that we know of right now and just the strength of them overall.
Yeah, overall here we were talking about Runaway Bay. That's where we've had the strongest tornado last night at EF2. We're talking winds 130, 135 miles an hour. So, and once again, yes, we were talking about the tornado damage, but Ken, as you're seeing there on the right-hand side of your screen, that is hail damage. That's tornado damage. So not only were we dealing with strong tornadoes, we were also dealing with baseball-sized hail, even here in the Metroplex as well.
Yeah, that hail. I want to talk a little bit more about that because that's what we're seeing a lot of the video of. We just saw one home, the solar panels up on the roof, they're completely shattered, broken because of the hail. We talk a lot about the strength of the wind when we talk about these tornadoes, but you know the hail. And you were saying this earlier. It could be pea size in one part of town and golf ball size and even softball size in other parts. The hail itself is a huge threat because of just how big it could be at any point. Right?
Yeah, absolutely. Last night we were tracking baseball-sized hail, so that is a baseball-sized chunk of ice falling out of the sky at over 100 miles an hour. That is not only dangerous, but that can be deadly from what we've been seeing here. And we're not out of the woods just yet. I will be tracking a risk of severe weather as we head into this evening as well. So yes, we are under a first alert weather day here for severe storms and an elevated flooding concern as we head into this evening. Any storms that form in or move into this highlighted region here in this level 2 zone especially will be capable of producing that large hail, the damaging winds, the flooding rainfall, and yes, the elevated non-zero tornado threat. Also, lots of lightning possible with these storms as well. But yes, we were talking about it. Ken mentioned it. We had over 100 reports of large hail, damaging winds, and tornadoes. These are all preliminary numbers from the National Weather Service. But once again, over 100 reports. 7 tornadoes here across the state of Texas, including the Runaway Bay, which was in Wise County, that EF2, which had peak winds at 135 miles an hour. Springtown, which is in Parker County, that was an EF1 with peak winds around 105 miles an hour. So once again, this was a long track supercell thunderstorm that it only moved about 150 miles in about 10 hours. So we're talking about 15 miles an hour. That's how slow this storm was moving. And then the other thing I want to point out, look at all these hail reports. That was the main reports we had, the most plentiful reports, I should say, from yesterday. Baseball-sized hail for Fort Worth, White Settlement, even down through Jacksboro, Springtown had about golf ball-sized hail from last night's storm. And then look at the winds. They were a little bit more sporadic in nature, but we definitely had in Springtown on the rear flank downdraft of that main storm, almost 90-mile-an-hour straight-line wind gusts. Not tornado winds, but winds from just gusts. Those are the kinds of storms we were tracking last night. And for tonight, I am still tracking a tornado watch in effect until 11 o'clock as we head into this evening. But the good news is, here across North Texas, nothing on radar, but that was also the case last night. And also the case last night, what was it? We were tracking storms near Wichita Falls. Right now we have a tornado warning in effect for Wichita Falls for this storm about to cross the Red River into Burke-Burnett. But look at this. The storm motion for this evening for tonight is going to be from southwest to northeast. So these storms are going to be moving into Oklahoma here as we head into tonight. So a very different setup as far as the steering from the jet stream to move these storms not in North Texas, but in the southern parts of Oklahoma. So as of right now, it does look like if we do see any storms that will impact the Metroplex, we're going to be watching this zone here off to the west, not across Wichita Falls, which was the case for last night. And future track radar is showing that as we head throughout the next couple of hours, for the most part, looks like we're going to stay clear, and that's good news. Any storms we see will primarily be in southern parts of Oklahoma. So overall, it looks like the conditions here for North Texas, they're highly conditional. We have a strong cap in place, which is going to prevent the development and the intensification of thunderstorms here as we head into this evening. So we're going to watch this very carefully here as we go forward. But overall, with your first alert forecast here, that extended look here at the weather as we head throughout the next couple of days, as we head into next week, we're still tracking some heat. 90s here in the forecast for Monday. Watching a threat of severe weather possible on Tuesday. And then we're going to see a big pattern change with much cooler air being pulled in there starting on Wednesday. We'll see highs dropping from the 90s on Monday to the 70s on Wednesday. We'll even see highs only in the 60s there Friday and Saturday. And Ken, look at those lows as we head into next weekend. We'll be watching out for lows dipping into the 50s. And you're up to date with the latest First Alert forecast.